these weeks be going by fast, bro. Sometimes, like, I feel like I don't know. I feel like I just recorded last week's episode of the pod, and now we're already here again. And I only do this like once a week, you know. Sorry, I'm making a whole bunch of noise, but I only do this once a week, man, and I'd be super excited to do it every week, but also at the same time, like, you know, because it's like it's a way, I don't know, like the pod is like a diary, but also like a journal, but it's just like audio, you know, and it's like one of those conversations that you have with your boys, or your girls, you know, that you just, you know, talk about whatever, and then next thing you know, it's 2 hours later. Now the pod don't usually be 2 hours, but you know what I'm saying. It be that type of thing. Like, it's never that I'm dreading getting into it, but I just know when I'm in it, it's like I'm there, you know, and it's that moment, and it's like, it's so powerful, bro. It's so crazy, because a lot of times you don't really know what you would actually say until you're actually in that moment. You know what I'm saying? So that's all. That's all why. That's the only reason why I said that. But welcome back to the Why I'm Geek show, man. This is episode 16. Episode 16. There's no title for this one so far. Like, usually I have like a title going in. I like to have a title, but you know, or a theme that I have going in. But today, it was one of those weeks where, like, you know, a lot of stuff definitely happened, but it wasn't like something blatant that I knew that, you know, I wanted to talk about. So like in this pod, you know, I'm definitely gonna talk about Cole album. I'm definitely gonna talk about the JBP breaking up, you know. But first off, let's just start with this, man. Kobe got inducted to the Hall of Fame literally today that I'm recording this, bro. And you know, it's still, I'm realizing, like, just because it has been a minute, you know what I'm saying, but it hasn't been a minute at the same time. Like, time is weird like that, and I've said that multiple times on this podcast, but you know, it's still a real touchy subject to me. Like, I was, you know, able to get through the, like, highlights and stuff of, like, you know, the little clips that they play before the actual speech and stuff like that, but I'm not, like, ready to hear people talk about it still, you know. And maybe that's because, like, that's all I did when it initially happened, but you know, I just, like, I kind of skipped through and stuff like that, and you know, it's still it's still like a raw feeling. Like, it's still real close. So you know, that happened, which was super dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't even know that it was happening until I saw it on Twitter. And then I looked at some of the videos of all the other inductees, like Kevin Garnett. You know what I'm saying? And that's the only one I could think off the top of my head. But yeah, that rolled around again. And then also MJ gave a speech as well, you know, for Kobe, and that's super dope. I might watch it. I don't know. It might take me some time. That's why I love YouTube, bro, because it's always gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I can always, like, go back and watch it, but I couldn't do it today. I couldn't do it today. I'm gonna be real. And that's just what it is, bro. But it's just like, you know, it's the first thing that I wrote on this list, and I just wrote this list too, like, you know, on stream, just because it was fresh in my mind. But you know, it definitely plays into the overall theme of this episode, because you know, in this episode I'm talking about a lot of, like, polarizing people. You know, like, let's just start off with, you know what I'm saying, Cole. So Cole dropped, man. Cole dropped maybe, like, you know, for me, The Off Season is still not my favorite album, but I think this is his best, like, skill level wise, like, and just, I don't know how to really say it. Like, this is the best Cole has ever been. I guess that's the best I can say that. You know what I'm saying? Like, before, you could kind of put Cole in a box, and that's what, he was known for. That's what he was good at. That's what we like. But with the off season, he really got his duffel bag, bro, and took us to school, bro. It's so many gems within it. So many bars, so many things that I still haven't even caught yet that I'm still listening to every what I'm saying, every day so far. Like, it's only been 2 days. And I still have yet to take a drive, and that's one thing I'm looking forward to. um Even though it's like a gas shortage right now, but as soon as gas get back right, what I'm saying, like, I might have to make a trip, just to do it, because I don't know, bruh. I don't know. It's definitely like driving music. You know what I'm saying? It's any time of music. Like, it's like put on the game before the game time music. Like, this is like, you know, every emotion and involved in one, and it's definitely exceeded my expectations. From like looking at Cole solely as just Cole being an artist. Like, there's features on here that are great. You know what I'm saying? And dope. But there's still more that I want. I still want a Cole. I mean, I still want a Drake feature. I still want a Kendrick feature. Maybe that happen on the fall off. But other than that, bro, it was perfect, man. It was perfect. Um, but yeah, man, like, being like, the whole world stopped. This is the first time, like, I got that feeling again of like some type of normalcy, in the sense of, you know wanting to really be outside, like, when this song just like, I literally streamed it on Twitch. You know what I'm saying? Allegedly. But I streamed and gave my reactions to that joint live. um and it was dope, bro. Like, I was just sitting here in just like complete awe of, all the stuff that he was saying, the beats, like, everything, bro. Everything was like leveled up. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I was telling one of my homies that, like, the perfect comparison that we got, between what this album made me feel like. It made me feel like when Dame was in the bubble, bro. When Dame was in the bubble, like, you know, that was a moment. That was a moment, like, competitively, everything. Um, like, it just, like, he couldn't be stopped. In, like, if a rapper can make you feel like, you know they're literally the best, like, nobody could ever, like, do that, like how they say, innocent until proven guilty. You know what I'm saying? Like, he said he the best right now. I believe him. I believe him. I believe him. um but yeah, man. And it's got it's like, there's no such thing as perfection, right? But this is probably the closest you can get to that. You know what I'm saying? And with that, and, just thinking about, like, Kobe's work ethic and stuff like that, and how he looked at the game, it's like, those things start to connect. Those things start to, like, like, you see it in multiple places, and I'm just trying to figure out what that really means to me and what I do. You know what I'm saying? Because, um, it wasn't until, like, I watched the doc of, Applying Pressure, the off season by J. Cole, that I was like, let me, like, because I've written it out before, but I never really meant it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've written out a schedule, like, that I want to keep, um, that I aspire to get to. Like, before, my mentality was like, okay, if I don't do this, then I'm doing something wrong. Like, now, my mindset towards everything is like, you know, set a goal and take steps every single day to, like, reach that goal. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be, you know, imminent. It doesn't have to be super direct. Like, yes, you have like you want to set goals that are, you know, timely and have like an end date, but you know, because if you don't, you won't. I guess like you never might even get anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no pressure in that. But for me, like it's a frame of mind. You know what I'm saying? Like the perfect day. So I made a schedule of things that I want to do in the future, and this schedule will definitely change. Like my perfect day will be different as time goes along, but as of right now, in this moment, like this is what it is. And once I realized that, I've been trying to like really like get there. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not gonna be easy at all. Because I'm not a morning person at all. When it comes to like holding yourself accountable, you know what I'm saying? Like before, like just a little hoop story. Like I could get up, 4:30 in the morning because I knew nobody else was doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like that wasn't hard for me. It wasn't every single day. There was days like I just couldn't do it. But like with hooping, it was such an easy thing for me to justify, and it was just like something that like was just in me. Like I couldn't, I can't even. It's hard for me to try to explain it now, but um, because it was something that I like loved and cherished. You know what I'm saying? Like I was able to do that without nobody saying nothing. And um, granted, like I'm not in the NBA or anything, but I know what that feeling feels like. You know what I'm saying? Like I might not be waking up at 4 in the morning anymore, to work out before school, but I'm staying up to work on whatever I gotta work on, specifically, for a YouTube video or editing this podcast or whatever. You know, a lot of the times, like like basically every day, you know, um, like I got a 4 o'clock shut off. Like as soon as it hit 4:30, you know what I'm saying? Like it might sometimes like I might get caught up and not realize what time it is, but usually like I try to fit everything in before then. Because at that point in time, it's like I'm on bonus time. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it now. Like I'll have everything done like probably by like 7 or 8, and then everything else after that is working towards the next day. You know what I'm saying? So it's a different feeling, but it's a consistency there that I'm looking for. So you know, it's still good to like sleep and all that, but it's just like get to how you live type. And for me, like I'm a person that loves consistency. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm gonna do something, like or I'm working towards something, you know, the best way for me to get there is being consistent in that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like having this schedule and having something to aim towards. I might not hit the mark every time, but I'm at least get close, and it's gonna help me towards my goals. You know, um, and that was like one of the keys in the documentary that Cole was talking about that Pharrell told him about. So that was like you know really dope and something I tried to apply this week. Um, Still don't got like the wake up time together just because it's hard for me to fall asleep, but I'm actually like working towards it now. And that's what really matters. Um, but this week a lot of stuff happened. Like I said before, man, like so much happened in the entertainment world, in the podcast world, and I learned a lot. Honestly, like I learned a lot, and this coming from like a podcast that's only 16 episodes deep. This is good to know, especially if I plan to which I do, plan to add people to this show. You know what I'm saying? Like, um, but only when it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Only when it makes sense. But that's something that I do see. I do have a vision for eventually. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just that's just where I want to take it. But to get straight to the point, the JBP has officially like broken up the Joe Budden podcast. Um, just in a member standpoint, like there's still gonna be a Joe Budden podcast that comes out, but the members are changing up. So Roy and Maul have officially like parted ways and are going through, I guess, legal stuff that I'm not necessarily like going to focus on because that's their business. And it was just like, for me, what I was doing was observing. So um, some of the things that I learned from it is like what it really means. Like, how should I say this? What it really means to be polarizing. So like I said earlier, when Cole dropped, that's all anybody was talking about. You know what I'm saying? And when the JBP dropped, like, broke up, I can't tell you the amount of videos that I saw of just people reacting to the news, or people reacting to people's reaction to the news. You know what I'm saying? Whether that was Joe or academics, or now Rory and Maul, who have finally put out a statement and basically another podcast of not officially, but like they gave their thoughts and opinions and truths to what the situation is. And I won't get into that. Y'all can go look that up yourself. But it just really, like, because I'm a fan myself, it really showed me like a different side to the business, because like attention is everything, and whether it's good or bad, you know what I'm saying, when you're looking at it from like a numbers, not necessarily even a number standpoint, it's like, or a status standpoint, or whatever, like you can have whatever opinion you want on the person, but people want to hear what they have to say. You know what I'm saying? And even if, like, say, take for instance like academics is somebody who, if you had to ask me like 2014, 2015, like if I like was a fan, or like even like, I still wouldn't even say I'm a fan of like the show and the content he does, but like his like talent, you know what I'm saying, is entertainment, and being able to entertain an audience no matter like what the size, based on what he's talking about and how he says it, because a big thing for me this week was narratives. Like, there's so many narratives that are being pushed, and how easy it is for people to fall in love with the narrative, because I think that's why, people can, and I can't even say people, like, I speak for myself, like, I think that's why, I like certain shows, like even Jupiter's Legacy. Take for instance that show. I'm about to do a review on that. The reason why I like that show is not because of the superhero scenes and them fighting and it being kind of graphic. Like, all that stuff is cool, but the narrative that is being pushed of the dad, or not the dad, but the main character, the main character, and his brother, pretty much like having a feud, but like an unresolved one that has been happening over years and years and years, and seeing their character development or lack thereof, over the course of watching this show, you know, it's like I don't fall in love with, like, I guess the characters themselves. I fall in love with the story behind it, and if it has a good story, if it keeps me entertained, like I like to know like every little thing about, the situation that's going on. And maybe that's just me, but you know, it really hit home for me this weekend when I was like, or this week when I was watching Joe do his different podcasts, his different rants on the whole situation, whether you believe one of them, either of them or not. Like, I was like really like I was I really got caught up in the narrative, bro. And that's a skill, that's a talent that not a lot of people have, um because there's only one truth. You know what I'm saying? There's only, like, the truth is the truth. Like, and I found myself like being on Joe's side heavy, and then watching academics videos, and like, dang, I'm really on their side, like, cause of the way what the narrative he was pushing, and even though his was, you know even though academics had somewhat of a beef with, or not even somewhat, but a beef with Rory for sure, and not really messing with Maul like that. After watching it, I was like, dang, bro, like, he kind of spitting, even though he was like, he definitely had moments within it where he was being non-biased to like everything and speaking about the business itself. Um, that he was like, if you look past like just the rah 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 type stuff, he was definitely spitting some good information. And it was because Maul and Roy were quiet, I started to question, what I'm saying, like, what it is, like. And then when they spoke, I started to question what Joe and them was saying. Like, I was just like, bro, that's crazy. That's crazy that, that's what attention can do. Or not even just attention, but a narrative can do, you know? And that brings me back to what I, wanted to base this podcast off of, which is my perspective. Like, for me, what I want out of this is, and I've said it multiple times, is not for everybody to just agree with me, and not to say that's what any of those people were doing. I'm not saying that at all, but it just reaffirmed, what I'm saying, what I wanted this show to be about, and that's just plainly just about perspective, and maybe looking at things from a different lens, and what that could really do to a person, because it only takes one moment to change somebody's life. You know what I'm saying? Like, one piece of content can change somebody's life. Like, I spoke about it on my review, man. When I saw the Bali documentary that J. Cole did, like, way back, it really changed me as like when I saw that, I was like, ooh, I want to do that, and that's when not everything changed. And of course, it's a whole bunch of different moments, but that's one moment for sure that I can pinpoint that like really changed my perspective on just not only just music, but just content in general. Just because of like what it can do and what it can make people feel. You know what I'm saying? And even Chance, bro. Chance is like, I used to watch like a certain amount of videos, like YouTube does the little mix thing where Chance was performing acid rap, and the way that was put together, I still get chills when I watch it because I felt it so much. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a really cool thing to see. And what's up, amazing. And it's something that I realized over the weekend, and I'm excited to like not necessarily do that because it with that situation with the JBP breaking up, that's a sad situation. Um, but it's moments like this where you get to see like where you really stand. You know what I'm saying? Um, and that's could just because people just trying to get clickbait stuff and like get their channel popping by posting whatever. But at the end of the day, it's still like the bootleg Jones be having like millions of views. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy to me. That's crazy. Like even I give you a situation where I was like in that not in that specific thing, but like when I did my Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order reaction to Darth Vader, I put that out. I streamed it, then I put that out on YouTube, and it blew up. And then I found out that it was also put into a mashup video of a whole bunch of different creators going through that same moment. I was like, dang, that's crazy, because that video had over like 100,000 views. And I was like, bro, like whether or not if they made it to my part or not, like that's a crazy feat. That's a crazy feat right there. You know what I'm saying? That's something to be proud about. Um, but it just pushed me even more, and just being able to share my perspective and share um, my thoughts on things, whether it changes somebody's mind or it not forces but makes somebody think differently. That's all I really want. That's all I really want, bro. Um, but another thing that showed me was this whole week was about ownership, bro. Like ownership, it can be a scary thing if you let it. You know what I'm saying? And it all comes down to like your mindset and how you look at things. Because for me, like I'm one of those type of people. Like if I want to do something, like I go ahead and I do it. Like I don't like waiting for, you know, not necessarily people's permission, but like if somebody says to me like it literally happened today. Like if somebody said to me, like I came to them with an idea and they don't really rock with that idea, like just to see what they think about it. Like I don't never ask them. I usually don't ask them like something specific about it. I just want their first like impression of it, or like what they think, you know, um, just to see where I'm at with it, and then either, but I won't ever like usually scrap the idea of it. Like I'll push forward. It'll cause me to do something else, or evolve it. And it's good to have people like that, but um when I'm speaking to like just like ownership, even like with this pod, like because that was the not the whole thing with the JBP situation, but it was a heavy topic, and them being partners with it, um, in the contract or whatever. And I won't get into that because that's just that's their business and stuff like that. But when it comes down to adding people or delegating stuff to other people, I'm working on it. You know what I'm saying? Even with uh, something simple as like getting an LLC. You know what I'm saying? Like that's something that it's not scary to me, but it's like whenever I do get one, now I'm gonna get one next month, but or like that's when I'm going to start it. Um, so like it's something that I definitely planned out, but it comes with a certain level of responsibility, and you gotta be willing to take that step. So whether or not like you're ready to have those conversations with a person or not, like you gotta take that responsibility. And I don't really know where I'm going with it, but it's just like I learned a lot about you know, what that can mean. Just from listening to how Joe talked about like ownership and stuff like that, and his views, and not to say that he knows everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not looking at it at that. I look to a whole bunch of different people from, um, they like my, mentors, like unofficial mentors, with all the different content that I consume while I'm creating my own content. So you got it all started with like ET, then you got IMAV, um, or Dion, and you got Dre Baldwin, um, the newest one, David Shands, because he just introduced you to a whole bunch of people. Um, it's a whole lot, bro. It's a whole lot that people I look to, you know, um, just to get a different and more experience. Like, as I gain more experience of just like what it really means to be the boss. You know what I'm saying? And owning that and being able to have people rely on you, because that's like something that you don't have to do when you just like working a regular 9 to 5, unless you like the boss there, but or you're trying to move up. You can get complacent in that. But for me, like I said, I love consistency. Like, now I gotta be in love with consistently being uncomfortable to actually grow, you know. So like, that's like, I guess the best wrap up that I can make, because you gotta make things happen, bro. You if you're gonna do it, you gotta do it, you know. And that's why I made that schedule. That's why I'm going for these goals. That's why I'm putting out this content. That's why we drop in officially Growth Apparel next month, um, June 15th. It's gonna be dope, bro. It's gonna be dope, and I'm super excited for all that is to come. Um, that's all I really got. I didn't honestly didn't even know I was gonna even talk that long. But it's just a lot that not only just excited about, but that I'm like really learning um over this. Just even in this last year, I've learned a lot. And now it's time to really start applying it. You know what I'm saying? Applying pressure, bro. That's what I'm trying to do. So that's all I really got, man. Hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. If you did, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, rate the podcast. What else can you do? Follow, share it. Share the podcast to whoever. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, that's all I got. So appreciate y'all for rocking with your boy with another week, man. You can be anywhere in the world, but you decided to check in. I appreciate that. Other than that, I'm going to get up out of here. Y'all know the vibes. Always keep going. Keep going. It's me, boy G. Peace.